I'm Patrick Faraday. Today we're going to talk about the Warren Report, conspiracy, the magic bullet, and the smoking gun. Anyone who was alive during the Kennedy assassination remembered exactly where they were when they heard that news. I was a sophomore in high school, and when the announcement came over the PA system about his death, I remember running home in the pouring rain and watched television for the next 3 days non-stop. Today I'm going to cover the Warren Report, the facts on the Warren Report. Pay special attention to this. You believe in the Warren Report. You believe that Lyndon Baines Johnson, the Vice President of the United States, had absolutely nothing to do with the assassination. You believe in the magic bullet. You believe the emergency room doctors at Parkland Hospital, who dealt with gunshot wounds all the time, said all the gunshot at the president came from the front. But you knew they were wrong because the Warren Report did a 26-volume study on it. You believe that Dr. Hume, who did the autopsy in Washington, D.C., not Dallas, had never done a murder autopsy before. But he was called Commander Hume, so he knew what he was doing. And he burned his autopsy notes after the autopsy because it was the right thing to do. You believe that Jack Ruby, who loved John F. Kennedy, only reason he killed Oswald so Jackie would not have to come back for trial in Dallas. And you believe that our government would never, ever, ever lie to us. Conspiracy theory means there's more than one shooter. Well, the Warren Report said the only one shooter was D. Harvey Oswald. To prove there was another shooter, you have to go look at two directions. If any hot shots came from the front, multiple shooters. And if we have more than 3 bullets, multiple shooters. There are 2 people that caused all kinds of havoc to the Warren Report. First one was a dressmaker named Abraham Zapruder, who on this day brought his Bell & Howell movie camera, and he captured the whole assassination on film. The Warren Report said that the shot from the head pulled his head forward. But if you look at the Zapruder film, his head definitely goes to the back in a violent direction. In fact, Jackie went on the trunk of the car to grab his brains. The second person that caused problems was a car salesman named James Tank. He was stuck in traffic. He got out of his car and stood by the curb by the triple underpass. Well, one of the bullets missed the car completely, hit the curb, threw concrete in his face, caused a little bit of blood. So now we got a problem. We got 2 bullets and 3 wounds. So now one of the staff members on the Warren Report, named Alan Spector, who later became senator, came up with a single bullet theory. And here's the diagram. He said it went to the back of the neck, through the throat, and then went down to Conley. It's all fine and dandy until you look at the coat. Houston, we have a problem. Dallas, we have a problem. If you look at the coat, where's the bullet hole? It's in the middle of the back, not in the collar. So now the single bullet theory becomes the magic bullet. And what a bullet. This thing goes up, down, sideways, down. So to believe the Warren Report on the magic bullet, the bullet came in his back, up through his throat, went down, took a downward shot, hit Conley in the back, went through his chest, broke a 5th rib, and shattered his wrist. Where did they find the bullet? Supposedly they found the bullet on the gurney of Governor Conley. Here's the magic bullet. There's no scrapes, no dents, nothing. We have another problem. Governor Conley said he was not hit by the same bullet. How can that be? Well, he said he heard the sound. And the Zapruder film, if you look at it, the president's got his hand on his throat, and Conley's looking over to his right. As you come around, you see him hit. But now the smoking gun. One of these pesky doctors from Parkland, Dr. Robert Shaw, who treated Governor Conley, said the bullet hit his back near his shoulder blade, went out the chest, hit his wrist, and went into his leg. And not moved. It's still in his leg. It did not exit from there at all. So now, the Warren Report, the magic bullet, is a big fairy tale. It was false from the word go. Let me quote from Gerald Posner, who was a strong defender of the Warren Report, from his book, Case Closed. Well, case closed.
I'm Dr. Robert R. Shaw, professor of thoracic surgery at Southwestern Medical School. Because of my position, I accepted the responsibility of taking care of Governor Conley following his injury. I want to say at the outset that the condition of the governor is quite satisfactory in view of the injury that he has sustained. He seemed to have been struck by just one bullet, which entered the right posterior chest, close to the shoulder blade, and coursed downward along the chest wall, taking out and fragmenting a portion of the fifth rib on the right. The bullet then emerged from the chest, evidently struck his right wrist, fracturing the lower portion of the right radius, and then entered the left thigh where it was spent. The thigh wound is trivial. The fracture of the radius should heal without difficulty or without further disability. Our major problem was the sucking wound of the right chest wall, because in making the wound of the chest, the fragments of the fifth rib became what we refer to as secondary missiles, and these caused a considerable amount of tissue damage in the point where the missile emerged from the chest. When the wound had been enlarged in order to remove damaged tissue, the lung could be inspected. It was found that there was a tear in the middle lobe of the lung, which had to be repaired. There was also a small hole in the lower lobe, undoubtedly due to a small rib fragment. This was of no consequence. The major problem was a matter of completely controlling all bleeding points, removing all damaged muscle and tissue, and then securing a tight closure of the chest wall so that the right lung could be re-expanded. The governor's condition was good during all of this. He was perfectly lucid before anesthesia was started. And from what we know about his injury and his condition at the present time, we have no reason to believe that he won't completely recover without significant disability of any sort.
Now reporters who are standing here have asked for questions.
Will be required to stay in the hospital here.
Wonder how long he will be required to stay.
He will be in the hospital. It will be determined more by the clearing of the bruise to the right lung, and I would estimate that this would be in the neighborhood of 10 to 14 days. This doesn't mean that this injury will be completely clear by this time, but at least we should have a good idea as to the trend of the clearing. The trend of the clearing, whether it is clearing or not. Yeah.
They asked the governor, yes, a reporter asked if the governor knew the president was dead. He said they didn't tell him.
No.
They're now asking, is he out of surgery and resting comfortably in his room?
Care of the compound fracture of the right radius. As soon as that is finished, he will be taken to the recovery room, where he will be carefully watched until he has regained all of his vital signs. Now, his vital signs are good now, but we like to observe them for a period of time. This is a routine measure until blood pressure is stable, respirations are satisfactory, and until the governor is fully recovered from the anesthesia. In other words, he's fully conscious, responding rationally to questions.
They are asking now if a bullet was found in his leg.
The bullet is in the leg. It hasn't been removed. This is a very insignificant factor, though. It will be removed. Left eye. But there's no significant injury to the left eye. Before he goes to the recovery room.
It was asked, when will it be removed? Then I asked him, will he stay at this hospital? The doctor says it will be advisable. Has it been definitely determined one bullet?
Really a reconstruction of what must have happened, but assuming, of course, that we know that the governor was in a sitting position. We know that the wound of entrance is alongside the shoulder blade here, that the wound of exit was here. We speculate that his arm perhaps was about in this position, and that it fractured his arm here, and then went on with him sitting into his left thigh. This is a matter of trying to reconstruct the trajectory of the bullet. He was shot from above, and he was in a sitting position. So we feel that this is all one bullet. That no, that's
The question was asked, did the lung collapse?
However, don't stress that point. The lung can be easily re-expanded. It's like a balloon. You can let it down and blow it up again.
What are the chances of complications for a man his age?
The lung is now re-expanded.
Was he getting a large quantity of blood?
Was he given a large quantity of
He
blood?
had lost approximately 1,500 cc's of blood. We counted in units, 500 cc's to a unit, and this is what has been given back to him.